Attention, attention. The ship is sinking and I misplaced my hands and feet. How are we supposed to get out of this mess? If you've been paying attention or opened your eyes in the last few weeks, you may be aware that PoE 2 is under attack. There is a rival, and not of the Marvel kind. A game has come barreling down the ocean to sink our little ship here. No, don't worry about that one. But what is this game that has us on the ropes? Some of you may say that it's Last Epoch because of the gameplay in the background. And while you may have thought you outsmarted me, I'm sorry to let you know that it is you who has been outsmarted. This is hit slice of life rom-com JoJo, and unfortunately, my friend, you are not a Joestar. The real threat to our beloved is... no. It can't be. Now, this video is not exaggeration or hyperbole. My entire life and will to live is based off of PoE 2's success. My wife and kids are currently on the street begging for scraps because I knew the $500 supporter pack would be an investment that they just didn't understand. But how can PoE 2 be the PoE 2 killer?
White people when that naked Jakey upload hits?
With the launch of Dawn of the Hunt, everybody, including yours truly, was very excited for the launch of the new character, the Huntress, and the introduction of the spear. A mix between ranged and melee, a beautiful symphony of dancing in and out of combat to output damage while physically evading enemy attacks. Yeah, so when we say women empowerment, I don't think GGG got the memo. That is for all women, not just the witches in the campaign. While you cannot really say that a character is bad, since PoE 2 is down to builds and weapons, the stuff that Huntress got shipped with should have been shipped back to R&D. Spears builds, which were fated to be the most meaningful forms of combat that an ARPG has ever seen, shocked the enemies as they finally get to hit back. On release, spears might have been the worst skill viability of any weapon, because unless you were Storm Chaser's worst nightmare or trend maxing, maps looked like a several league long slog to get to. Of course, then this abomination was found, but we'll talk about that later. Almost all of these issues I believe were caused by a lot of spear builds requiring the consumption of frenzy charges to get their actually useful effects. Problem being, in early game, you aren't exactly rolling in charges, so trying to get even a semi-good damage was a tall ask. I would like to note that buffs did come, and the introduction of Killing Palm, but for the green ones, did absolutely help, but again, we will touch on this later.
I need a woman with a wolf cut to beat me to death. No, you don't.
I absolutely adore the Wisp concept. That is, I think it's fantastic how easy it is to ignore them. As someone who doesn't even like the tormented spirits, I can't really give an unbiased answer on why Wisps aren't really my cup of tea, but even without liking them on release, these things were hot garbage. The idea of Wisps were that you would find these glowing balls around the map, and after giving them a good little fondle, they would go throughout the map and empower mobs to be stronger and give more rewards. That was the idea. In practice, it did not play out that way. Fighting a big rare mob is like getting punched in the stomach, but earning $1 for it. Fighting a Wisp rare mob is like getting stabbed in the stomach and earning the same dollar from it. Empowerment only meant that the fight was harder. For a long time, the rewards seemed completely unaffected, therefore was skipped. This was updated recently, and as far as I know, it seems more rewarding than rare mobs now, so cool. Along with these, we also got some unique maps, which overall feel good, cool designs, and it's always nice to run into them. The unique strong boxes are funny, especially when it's not your gold on the line. The tower change is a bit of a mixed bag. Yes, doing towers felt like taking a break from gaming and clocking in, so lowering the amount of towers seemed like a good idea. But as many others have explained, it mostly just led to a very strange strategy for rich players to just spam until they see a double tower overlap, then fully juice them. I don't know if it's necessarily a problem because I actually shower and don't really care about these complaints, but I thought to bring it up anyway.
Look at my stupid, disgusting dog top laner. He's 1 in 6 and he's f***ing type.
I would like to just start with the positives. Adding fracturing orbs and making them not a several day long thing to obtain is a fantastic addition. And it would be more fantastic if the crafting system still wasn't just me slamming items like I'm trying to see if my He-Man or Godzilla toy is more durable. Fracturing orbs can help you get a guaranteed good stat on an item, but when the next course of action is just spamming chaos orbs and hoping it hits good stats, all you've done is make a very complicated PoE 1 essence. I don't have to harp on crafting very much, it's not enjoyable, and during the campaign, I can sometimes literally get stuck because vendors will give me nothing, mobs will drop nothing, and I have to wait 3 hours for someone to finally respond to a 1 Exalt trade offer.
These crab cakes are good as a mug. I fucks with these crab cakes.
Builds in PoE 2 are like a spectrum from downright unviable to absolutely meta-breaking and disgusting. I use a spectrum instead of a tier list because knowing the players in this genre, most of us have some history with spectrums. That aside, Dawn of the Hunt has been plagued more than ever by this spectrum, as looking at PoE Ninja shows over half of the population is playing the exact same build. Lightning Spear is an incredible skill that definitely should have been hotfix nerfed like the other broken garbage, but GGG understood that nerfing 50% of the population's builds on an already extremely shaky start might not be the best idea. It didn't take long for videos to come out and display how stupid this skill is, and considering PoE 2 quickly snowballs into people not answering for lower and lower trades, if you didn't abuse this too, you might be wading through a sea of ignores if you didn't catch up. I'm sure I don't have to explain why in a game with hundreds of skill gems, only one having a 50% pick rate is horrible. I mean, we thought Lightning Strike was overused. So while there are definitely a sea of viable builds in PoE 2, a lot of them were simply drowned out and out-farmed by the Lightning Spear enjoyers.
Recently, I showed you guys how to properly interact with a woman, but today, I want to show you guys what women really like.
Throughout this video, I mentioned a couple of times how some of the most glaring issues that came out of this season, including ones I didn't mention like Monster Life, were walked back on or made better with patches. So Ivan, if the bad thing is no longer bad, why do we keep talking about it? A lot of people bounced right off of this launch. People that stuck through the first patches of PoE 2 that couldn't bear to play any more of it during this time period. Some of those people are simply not coming back. ARPG competition is getting strong and very fierce. I imagine quite a large amount of people have fully migrated over towards games like Last Epoch. People that might have stayed if this launch was any better. I have faith that GGG is going to be able to fix the problems as they show up, but this constant cycle has even plagued PoE 1 at times. Constantly having big updates come with incredible downsides and nerfs, with the possibility of fixing them later just makes casual players not want to play your game. If I know for a fact that when the next launch comes out, I am going to need to put in an exponential amount of work compared to previous leagues because GGG's vision is in need of a better diet, then I just won't come back. It's not hating PoE 2 to not come back because League Start releases keep making the game less enjoyable for a span of time. It's not hating PoE 2 because you want to play another game that doesn't waste your time like GGG does. We want PoE 2 to be good, but right now, GGG's vision is so confusing and seems so anti-player sometimes that player numbers are just going to keep going down. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to keep up with whatever garbage fills my head at any given week. And if you enjoy my content here, then you will probably enjoy my live streams at Twitch, where I stream every Wednesday and Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's all for now. If you need me, I'll be busy saying regrettable things on stream. Hey, Lord Ivan, what do you think of slave labor? And I'm like, I don't think free labor is bad. Stay safe and stay sane, exiles.